Like many of you, I really enjoy Disney and Pixar's The Incredibles, but even more than the movie, I like the idea of the movie. We've seen superhero families before, but the idea of a bunch of movies and letting time pass in between them opened up an interesting opportunity. The main characters can grow older, discovering new challenges and being a family and a team. It could be similar to how we watch Peter Parker grow up in the Spider-Man comics. So, when The Incredibles 2 premiered, I was pissed like many of you were, that all of them were the exact same age, superheroes were illegal again, another parent became distant from the family, and the biggest insult of all, it was actually pretty good. Yeah, the writing, acting, and visuals were still very funny as well as touching, and I came out of it legitimately satisfied. But this still raises the question, what would have happened if The Incredibles got older? What if Violet was in college, Dash was in high school, Jack in first grade? Despite the second movie being quite entertaining, I still wondered what an Incredibles film would be like with a longer passage of time. So, this is my take on the different challenges, the new opportunities, and the bizarre adventures that would await The Incredibles if they grew up. Sit back and enjoy, this is my fanscription of what if The Incredibles got older. We open 5 years after the previous film. Frozone returns home, which has even more gadgets than the last time, even coming equipped with a huge computer.
Thank you, corporate sponsors.
He tries logging into his computer, but it denies his password.
Oh, who's been messing with this? Honey, why won't this thing compute?
He hears nothing.
I said, why won't this thing compute?
Suddenly, the computer turns on. The screenslaver, yeah, I thought he was cool, so I'm holding on to him. Though trust me, there will be differences. Appears on the screen. His goggles start to flash, instantly hypnotizing Frozone.
Don't worry, she's out late. Not that it matters. You won't be seeing her for a long time.
The title appears, the music rises, and we cut to the Incredibles in the city fighting off their supervillain of the week, who's dressed as a giant vegetable.
I am the Russian Rutabaga. All of you will tremble at my garden of evil.
We see the Incredibles fighting off a giant army of veggies. There's Bob and Helen, now in their mid-40s, Violet, who is 19, Dash, who is 15, and even Jack, who despite being 6, is kicking ass, zapping enemies with his laser eyes.
This is for being the worst part of every meal.
Violet, that device in his hand controls his army. Can you put a force field around it?
I'm trying, Mom, but he's too far away. I can't reach that far.
Bob gets an idea. Dash, run Jack up there and see if you can force it out of his hand.
Right. Okay, Jack, you ready for... Hey, where'd he go?
I got this.
Jack rushes towards the deadly vegetable and tries jumping over a demolished bridge. No!
Jack, you're not ready yet.
Yes, I am. Watch.
He tries jumping over the bridge and growing in size into a giant monster, but he doesn't grow large enough to land on the other side.
Oops.
Violet rolls her eyes and catches him in a force field.
Ugh.
Helen turns into a trampoline, launching Bob into the air. He grabs the device and smashes it, forcing the vegetable army to go back to normal food.
No! My precious produce of pain!
Dash runs up to him and punches him out. Later, as the police and news crew surround the area, the Incredibles drive off in their car with Jack feeling bummed.
Jack, you can't take chances like that. You don't have full control over your powers yet.
But I was really working on it. I almost got the right size.
Jack, whatever size you are is always the wrong size.
Jack bites his arm.
Ow! Dad, he bit me!
Well, bite him back.
Bob!
What? It could be useful in the future.
What? We did just fight killer vegetables.
Nobody is biting anyone unless I say so. And Jack, do as you're told in the car and when fighting evil. Got it?
Jack doesn't answer and folds his arms. The next day, Violet talks with her boyfriend, Tony. It looks like they're both going to different colleges.
I mean, I don't want you to change schools for me.
No, I wouldn't want you to do that for me either.
They sit in silence.
So, I guess that means we...
Start the best long-term relationship ever.
What?
That's clearly not what Violet was going to say.
You're right. Just because we're miles away doesn't mean we can't still be in love. Isn't that what you were going to say?
You, took the words right out of my mouth.
No matter how long we're apart, even if it's for years.
Years? Really?
We will always have an invisible connection. Kind of beautiful, isn't it?
It works on so many levels.
Tony gives her a hug as Violet gives a worried look. Later that night, Bob and Helen discuss what they're going to do about Jack's impulses.
His powers are growing.
Yeah, but that's the key word, growing.
He wants to do everything on his own, but he's not ready yet, and it's gonna get him killed.
I agree, but what are we gonna do? He doesn't listen to us.
He reminds me so much of Dash at that age.
Tell me about it.
They both get the same idea. Cut to them talking to Dash.
So, if you can just keep an eye out on him and maybe try to hint that we know what we're talking about?
I don't know. It's kind of like working for the enemy.
They both give Dash a look.
A kind and loving enemy who always has his best intentions in mind?
Close enough.
Jack suddenly enters the room.
Hey, did you see
Nothing!
All right. Did you see what's happening with Uncle Lucius?
He rig another hockey game?
Hey, you have no proof of that.
No.
Jack turns on the news showing Frozone attacking people on the street with his ice powers.
What in the name of...
The family goes to stop him with Bob trying to snap him to his senses. Frozone seems like a different person, shouting how he's the most powerful hero in the world and nobody can defeat him. Jack once again tries to take him on by himself, but Helen stops him by keeping him in place with one arm and wrapping Lucius up with her other arm. The police sedate him and the family is shocked. They never seen him act that way before. Back at home, they watch story after story of heroes being arrested for spontaneously acting hostile.
I don't understand. What's causing all this?
They see an interview with Winston Dever. Yeah, I liked him too, so I worked him in, but again, he'll be used very differently. I used to work with the superhero relocation program. I found hundreds, if not thousands of heroes' new lives. In my time there, many revealed their anger and frustration of being forced to keep their powers a secret. I believe allowing them back into the public eye so quickly might be taking a toll on their mental health. And that's the best case scenario. Naturally, the reporter asks, what's the worst case scenario? Well, I'd rather not discuss that now. Bob and Helen watch with anger.
Well, we don't know what, but we certainly know who.
Yeah, no twist villains in this Disney film. It's made very clear early on who the bad guy is.
Kids, stay here. We're gonna give this expert a little visit.
But we can help.
Jack, now is really not the time.
Jack remains quiet as Bob and Helen rush out to find Winston. When they get to his home demanding answers, he explains that he truly believes there's rising hostility from supers that can't be controlled much longer.
Yeah, it's quite a coincidence all these supers are going bad at once, and you happen to have this theory at the same time.
Oh, you supers, always aware that presentation is everything. He quickly puts on his screenslaver mask and turns towards them before they can attack. The flashing from his eyes instantly hypnotizes them.
Perhaps you're right, though. I could destroy you right now, but the best things do take time. Wouldn't you agree?
They both slowly nod. Back at home, Jack is fed up with being told what to do, so he decides not only to go rogue, but go dark rogue. He peeks into Violet's room to see she has done herself up in a goth punk rocker outfit, wearing anything she has that's black. She does FaceTime with Tony, hoping to scare him off.
Hey, Tony, what do you think of my new look? Pretty intense, huh?
Oh my god, I love it! Let me get my old black clothes so we can match.
Wait,
She tosses all her leftover black clothes and makeup on the floor. Jack steals it and uses his powers to travel to Edna Mode's house. I have worked with less, darling, but not much less. Give me an hour, I will make you all scary and things. She turns him into a tiny dark vigilante. Think Dark Knight meets Mysterion. He goes out into the city to fight crime and finds another hero acting hostile. She has some sort of electrical power to zap anyone that comes near her. Jack tries using his powers, but once again, he doesn't have enough control over them. So he draws her attention by running towards a fire hydrant. She tries zapping him, but accidentally hits the hydrant, spraying water all over her and shorting her out. She's arrested, and afterwards, a dark figure in a trench coat congratulates him and hands him a card.
Nice job, mister.
He tries to make his voice sound deep and raspy.
Oh, Jack.
Tomorrow, 10 p.m., top of the city stadium. Be there.
Jack is confused, but excited as he's on his way to becoming a solo hero. He returns home, but the next morning, the kids can't find Bob or Helen.
Mom? Dad?
Oh, God. Do you think they...
That Winston guy! Come on!
They start to run towards their costumes, but Bob and Helen are seen closing the front door.
Oh, hey guys.
They all look confused.
Hey, so, did you take care of...
Oh, he was innocent. He just has our best well-being in mind.
Really? You sound pretty sure he was up to something.
Actually, yeah, I kind of remember that too.
Him and Helen start to remember, but both their eyes suddenly twitch.
Nope, he was fine.
Totally fine.
The kids are confused, but shrug it off.
So, what's the next step?
I'm gonna go to the police station and see if I can talk to Lucius. Maybe seeing a familiar face will help get some answers.
Alright, you do that while the kids and I go on our weekly patrol.
Actually, is it okay if I don't go?
Really? You're always up for patrol.
Well, I made some new friends.
Later that night, Jack goes to the top of the stadium and comes across a room filled with normal people in dark costumes. One of them approaches Jack. He calls himself Dark Angst.
Hey, it's the new guy.
Huh?
We saw your work last night and feel you're perfect to join us.
To join...
To join what?
The League of Angsty Magnificent Epicness.
Lame?
Why does everyone say that at first? We are the heroes without superpowers, without incredible strength, but we have dark and brooding personalities that can thwart off evil. We are the loners of crime fighting.
If you're loners, then how can there be so many of you?
Look, a signal.
They all rush to the window and see a spotlight with a blurry symbol on it.
It's hard to make out. It looks like a spider.
That's for me, the tormented tarantula.
No, wait, it's a ball of hair.
That's for me, the atomic armpit.
No, wait, it's a samurai star. Confirmed, it's a samurai star.
That's for me, Ninja Katana Dementa.
She leaps out of the window to fight crime.
Lucky.
So wait, you're heroes even though you don't have powers?
We're anti-heroes. With all the supers turning rogue, it only figures this is our time to shine. You don't have any superpowers, do you? Like those other superheroes destroying our city?
Jack remembers they didn't see him using his powers, so he lies and says no. For weeks he continues to fight crime, having to rely on others to help him out, seeing how he can't use his powers. He fits in great until Dash comes across him one night on patrol. He pulls him aside and they have a talk on top of a building.
Was that Violet's outfit?
It's a work in progress.
Jack, I know it's hard to believe, but Mom and Dad aren't treating you like this because they don't think you can be something special. They're doing it because they know you're going to be something special.
How would you know? They never held you back for anything.
Dash grinds his teeth.
Yes, they did.
They did?
And they were right.
Jack admits working with the team was actually more helpful than he thought and understands what Dash means. He says goodbye to his new friends at Lame, who are shocked to discover he was a child all along and not a very short man.
But his voice was so deep and raspy.
That same night, Violet confesses her troubles with Tony to her father. Bob tells her a story about how he was in love with a girl when he was young, but she also had to move away. So they decided to break up.
It was hard, but then I met your mother, who was smart and fun and the only woman I knew who could reach the top shelf.
So you're saying, do what's right, even though it'll hurt?
Just listen to your gut, your true self, and you'll figure out the right thing to do.
I guess you're right. Say, whatever happened to that first girl you dated?
Well, remember that villain we fought called the Jilted Lover?
You mean...
Oh, no, she just represented her in court.
Oh, that's not as bad.
Still bad PR, though.
Meanwhile, Helen, dressed as Elastigirl, tries making her way to the police station, but people start throwing things at her. Clearly, the people are turning against the supers once more. The police hesitate to let us supers see Frozone, but they agree as she's been coming there for weeks and seems to be making some progress with him. Frozone, now almost completely back to his senses, explains he has no idea what happened.
It's like I was someone else. One minute I'm checking my computer, the next I'm going on a rampage.
His eye twitches when he says the word computer.
Wait, say that again.
I just went on a rampage.
No, before that.
What? Checking the computer?
His eye twitches once more.
I've known you for years, and I've never seen your eye twitch like that.
I didn't even know it was twitching.
I didn't either, until the kids brought it up whenever I talked about...
Her eye starts twitching as well. Frozone notices it.
I think whoever you were about to say may have gotten to you too.
Helen rushes out of the building and calls Bob.
Hello?
Bob, he got to us. I don't know what he's waiting for, but we have to...
She suddenly stops talking as the screenslaver takes over hers and Bob's minds.
That's enough out of you. I think I've waited long enough for the hatred to build. Time to speed things up a little.
He sends Helen and Bob on a rampage like the other heroes, attacking civilians. Violet, Dash, and Jack see the destruction and try to stop them. Helen and Bob not only fight them off, but they shout how they despise them and wish they were never in their lives. The two of them eventually vanish into the night with the kids heartbroken.
How could they do this?
It didn't even seem like them.
Violet figures it out.
It wasn't them,
How do you know?
because my gut is telling me so.
She brings up how their eyes twitched whenever they mentioned the name Winston. Suddenly, her phone rings. She answers it, barely paying attention.
Hey, it's Tony. You down for trying that new coaster tonight?
Sorry, Tony. Destiny is calling.
Oh, she always talks forever. I'll see you tomorrow.
They travel to Winston's home and discover he's not there, but he left plans for an attack on the city theme park, where all the supers will be instructed to kill the civilians. On the TV, they see Winston appear in an interview. It is my firm belief that these heroes have been planning an uprising. Revenge, if you will, for all the years they've had to stay in hiding. It could be a month, could be a week, could even be tonight. The reporter asks, tonight? Well, I'm not willing to take that risk. He looks directly at the camera. Are you? The kids rush to the amusement park. There, the screenslaver appears on a giant monitor and tells the crowd that he and other supers have been planning revenge on humanity. The League of Angsty Magnificent Epicness arrives to try and save the day, but they see a bunch of actual superheroes, led by Helen and Bob, about to attack.
I think we might be underprepared for this.
The kids approach the League and Jack lets them know what's going on.
No, he's not a super. He's pretending to be to make everyone believe they're evil.
Well, they are about to kill everyone.
He's got them hypnotized. It's gotta be from that device in his hand.
How do you know?
It's always a device in the villain's hand.
But how do we know you're telling the truth?
Jack turns into a giant monster and then back to normal.
Holy smokes! You're a...
Yes, a super.
First, you're not a little man. Now you have superpowers. Next thing you'll be telling me your name isn't Jack Tack.
Please, those are my parents who are in trouble too. I need you guys.
The League begrudgingly agrees and a big fight takes place at the amusement park. The League distracts the heroes while the kids get the device out of Screenslaver's hand. They destroy it and all the heroes go back to normal. The family is united, but Screenslaver makes his way towards a roller coaster filled with people. He blasts the controls and hops on one of the cars, which is now on an endless loop. Yes, goddammit, there is going to be a superhero fight scene on a roller coaster. I'm tired of waiting for this in a movie. He holds a bomb in his hand with a timer counting down.
If I'm going down, I'm taking as many as I can with me.
The Incredibles try to fight him on the coaster filled with civilians, one of them, of course, being Tony.
They're right. This is not a good ride for people with asthma.
The Incredibles try to fight Screenslaver as he constantly hides behind civilians and uses various gadgets to stay in the car despite it going top speed. The heroes shout at him fighting through various loops and hills.
What spawns this, Winston? They couldn't just be losing your job at superhero relocation.
For years you were outlawed, and then suddenly you were in the right and we were in the wrong. You always have been and always will be dangerous.
Dangerous? Have you taken a good look at yourself, pal?
This is different. The world has lost its way.
Oh, I see. We can still exist as long as we're somehow less than you.
You will always be less than us, with your manipulation, your powers, and your might.
He suddenly realizes what he's been doing.
Monologuing.
Kids, now!
The kids sneak up behind him and knock him off the car. He falls on another part of the track as the bomb reaches zero.
Oh, curses.
The bomb explodes, blowing him to smithereens. Unfortunately, it also leaves a big gap in the coaster, and of course the car is heading towards it at top speed. The Incredibles, the League, and the rest of the heroes all work together as quickly as possible to stop the car from reaching the hole in the track. It takes a lot of fast work, but they save the people just inches before it goes off the tracks. Violet is next to Tony after she and the others stop the car. He finally figures it out as she catches her breath.
Violet?
She continues to gasp for air.
I think we should break up.
That's fair. Your life is a little more excitement than I'm looking for.
She smiles. Everybody cheers, the heroes of the hour are clearly the Incredibles, and news stories spread the following day about the Screenslaver and his evil scheme. Frozone is released and gets back together with his wife, supers are no longer feared, and the film ends with everyone saying goodbye to Violet, who is about to drive away to college.
Don't be a stranger now, hear me?
I won't, Mom.
Hey, you need anything, we're just a phone call away, alright?
Dad, are you crying?
No, it's just windy out here.
He wipes a tear from his eye. She leans over to Dash and Jack.
You boys gonna be okay without me?
You kidding? It's gonna be more normal around here without you.
Jack gives her a hug.
I'll miss wearing your clothes.
Violet gives a confused look.
It's a long story.
She gets in the car and drives off. The family sighs.
And then there were 4.
And then there were 4.
An explosion erupts in the distance. Violet reverses the car back to them with her mask on.
Hey, doesn't mean I can't visit.
They all get their masks on, hop into the car, and drive off into the end credits. So there you go, that's my take on The Incredibles 2 if they actually got older. Clearly I took a few elements from the original Incredibles 2 that I enjoyed, mixed it in with some newer Disney tropes that are very popular right now, and added in some newer elements to see what might have happened in a parallel universe. But what do you think? Do you think The Incredibles should grow up just as their fan base grows up? Or should they stay that age forever, as that's part of the advantage of having an animated family to begin with? Let me know your thoughts and I'll see you in another incredible episode of Fanscription.